The first Sunday of January in just about every Unity Church on the planet, we celebrate with a Whitestone ceremony. It's about setting intention. It's very different than making a list of resolutions, because on the Whitestone ceremony, we're just looking for 1 or 2 words that we want to hold as a representation of what we want to manifest in 2016. They're an intention, a direction, a name, something that we want to hold first and foremost in our minds to direct our thoughts to, so that we can make sure that we get the support on our spiritual journey that we desire in the coming year. And I'm going to talk in a little bit about how different intention is than resolution. But first I want to give you the nitty-gritty of what we're going to do today. So I'm asking the welcome team to come forward just to make sure that you've got a rock. Did you get a rock? Does anybody need a rock? Yep, there's always 4 or 5 or 6 who somehow missed them when we came in. So keep your hands up, and Sis is coming with the rocks, and then Bob is coming with the pens. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of time chatting. And then after we chat, we're going to listen to and watch a visual meditation. Then we're going to spend some time in deeper meditation, listening for the whisper of spirit. Because what we're doing is we're opening up all the channels, all the different ways that we can to tune into that voice of spirit, that guidance. Yeah, you guys, wow, you snuck, a lot of you guys snuck by. That guidance of spirit. Okay, so now we're going to get the other half of the room. Woo-hoo! I'll start by telling you that 4,000 years ago, or as many as 4,000 years ago, the Babylonians celebrated New Year's. They called it Nowruz. And they would get together for a New Year's celebration. They would have great feasts with lots of good food. And they were, there was a lot of imbibing going on, toasting to create a clean slate. And one of the ways they went around creating this clean slate was every year at New Year's, they would tell their famous myth. They would recite the epic story about the sky god Marduk and his triumphant victory over the evil goddess Tiamat. And so once again, goodness would prevail in their lives. And this is a depiction of that great battle where the sky god achieved victory over evil. And what the Babylonians were really doing was they were taking this in to their own consciousness and saying, at the end of the year, anything that looked like evil, anything that didn't support us, any mistakes we made, any sins that we entered into have now been wiped clean. Because the sky god, the God of power, the God of goodness, has prevailed. He is victorious. And at the end of the year, they would celebrate by creating, of all things, resolutions. They would write down on stone tablets, which are about the size of an iPhone 6. There's something they could hold in their hand. They would write down on these stone tablets what they promised to do for the next year. And of course, they've cleared the slate. They've forgiven others. They've forgiven themselves. They pledged and they promised their loyalty, their allegiance, their attunement, their attention to the God of goodness. So they started out with good intentions, and then they would make the ordinary promises like, I promise this year to pay off my debt. I promise this year to return any farm equipment that I borrowed. All on something that they could carry around and remind themselves of. So they became one with this stone tablet, and that's what we're asking today. As you take your stone in your hand, we'll begin right now by feeling the energy of your stone. by tuning into the energy of your stone and allowing the stone to feel into you. Allowing the stone to discover who and what you are. To become one with the stone and to start that flow between you and the stone energetically that will begin the flow of the whole Whitestone ceremony. So like the ancient Babylonians many, many years ago, we are now looping in with the energy of the stone. And now that the flow has begun, we're going to hold it in our hands. Because what we know about the Whitestone ceremony is it's about intention. It's about not just resolution. The other thing that the Babylonians did was they would write these resolutions on stone tablets, and it's a practice that we continue to this day. Here are some modern day resolutions. Get finances together, get a better job, add a regular workout to the day, cook more at home, be a better parent, do something creative, fall in love, get 8 hours of sleep every night. And these are good. They're good resolutions, yes? Yeah, but here's where I get stuck on resolution. Resolution is fixed. A resolution is rigid. If we don't achieve this specific outcome, we have failed. So we won't be successful unless we get our finances together. We won't be healthy unless we add that workout to our already busy day. We won't be loved unless we become a better parent. We won't be happy unless we fall in love. So the whole idea of resolution is based on the premise that we're broken. That we're broken and we need to be fixed. Now that takes a whole lot of effort. Statistics show that only 80% of the people who make resolutions keep them for longer than 3 months. And let me tell you why. It's because being a self-improvement project manager is exhausting. It takes a lot of energy to turn around and try to fix ourselves, turn around and try to fix ourselves, turn around and try to fix ourselves, when the truth of us is that we're already whole. We're already perfect. We might not be able to see it. God sees it, that we're already whole and perfect, which is the whole difference in consciousness between intention and resolution. Resolution is rigid. Intention is flow and fluid. Resolution requires someone to feel broken. Where intention, the underlying premise of intention is that we are whole. It's merely an aim to guide our actions. It's merely pointing ourselves in the direction that we feel our heart calling to go. It's a whole different come from. Intention is a whole different consciousness. And from the intention, we get a new direction. From the intention, we get a new name. In Hebrew scriptures, the Old Testament of the Bible, Jacob wrestled with the man, and he wrestled with him, and he wrestled with him, and he wrestled with him, and the whole time he was wrestling, he said, God, I'm going to wrestle with this man until you give me a new name. And finally God did, and his name was Israel. He was the father of Israel. Before him, Abram became Abraham. Sarai became Sarah. After him in the New Testament, Saul became Paul. A whole new name, a whole new direction, a whole new consciousness led by the illumined consciousness of God. A whole new consciousness led by and inspired by that light of God. In Revelations 2:17, in the King James Version, which is the version you usually hear at the Whitestone ceremony, it says, He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving that he receiveth it. And that's good. That's a language that helps us reach back and draw upon the strength of the faith that we know, so that with the ear that we have, we can hear God. Faith, wisdom, healer, communicator. I like the Message, which is a newer translation that says, "Are your ears awake?" Are your ears awake? Wake up, ears, wake up. Open this channel. Open your consciousness. Listen to the wind words. Guidance, peace, justice, caregiver, peacemaker. The wind words, the Spirit blowing through the churches. I'll also give you clear, smooth stone inscribed with your new name, your secret new name. And we keep these names secret in our heart until we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the reflection of the light that burns as our new name is received and seen by the rest of the world. The power in this ceremony doesn't lie in its history. It doesn't lie in the inspiration of Scripture, but it lies in the power of your hand. Because in your hand, you have what you need to move forward. You have what the world needs, so that we can have a world of peace, a world of reconciliation, a world that's illumined by the light of God. So as we begin to go into the deeper part of the ceremony, the deeper part of the unfoldment, the deeper part where we hear those wind words, love, teacher, educator, beauty maker, where we hear those words, we have a visual meditation, we have a song.
Longer than anybody can remember, back to a time that seems so long ago. We've been trying to get back to what we are and satisfy a yearning in our soul. The light of God is shining bright inside you. Close your eyes if you really want to see. There's a path of light inside, waiting there to guide you and take you back to what you long to be. Things aren't really what they appear to be. The illusion of this world all seems so real, until we wake up from this life we're dreaming. Free our souls so we can truly feel. The light of God is shining bright inside you. Close your eyes. familiar places we have never seen. Led by love that calls a songbird into the light of God and you and me. The light of God is shining bright inside you. Close your eyes if you really want to see. There's a path of light inside, waiting there to guide you and take you back to what you long to be. Take you back to what you long to be. Longer than anybody can remember, we've been turning back to what we long to be.